Hey everyone, welcome to another Reality Skewed Gamers live stream. This is your lunch hour stream brought to you by Wales Fargo. Ranger is busy this afternoon, so me, Finity, am taking over, and I'm joined by some of our usual lunch hour guests today. So we have Xylo Takedown. Say hi to the people, Xylo.
What's up, guys?
And then we have Mr. Sanely Red, who will be monitoring the chat for any and all of your questions. Be nice to him. Make it in a way that he can find it easily in the chat. How are you doing today, Sanely?
Oh, it's going good.
And then we have Grim, who should be joining us our guests today. So we have Xylo Takedown. Say hi to myself. There we go. All right. So, and Ouchie says, nice hat. Yes. This hat got some show yesterday when we replayed our Cozy Spoo episode, our little interview with the pseudo community manager thing. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna bring the safari hat back. So I brought it back here. So let's see.
That's
V,
great.
I see what Little V wants to talk about. You know what? Ranger always wants to talk about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I do not mind talking about other things. So I saw that Lil V wants to talk about John Cena versus Undertaker at WrestleMania. So officially, at least in the plot, do any of you guys here watch WWE at this point?
I used to when I was a kid, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Same.
Okay. Well, so John Cena has been kind of the face of WWE for a while now. He's still pretty much
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he still pretty much is, but they're kind of removing him a little bit with Roman Reigns now, and he's kind of taking up the mantle pretty well. But John Cena, at this point, they've had him in a plot line where he doesn't have a path to WrestleMania. So he's kind of listed as a free agent, so I don't know how much you guys have followed, but it used to be like a mix between Raw and SmackDown, their two main shows, and then they kind of split it. So now they are Raw, and then they are SmackDown, and they have like completely different wrestlers. And John Cena was kind of a free agent. So he's one of the only ones, I think, that goes between the two shows a little bit however he wants.
Right. Like a couple years ago, like after like they did all like the WCW and ECW war and all that stuff. Like I remember all that stuff. Like that was my generation. But then like
but then they merged it.
Now it's like each show owns like certain wrestlers and they can't go on other shows, right?
Yeah. And this is their second attempt at doing that. So they did that before, and they had this whole concept of a draft and separate ones, and then they changed it. So now they're back to that split concept, and John Cena is a free agent, so he goes between it. He lost his opportunity to go to WrestleMania on Raw, so now he went to SmackDown, and now he has a chance at another chance at WrestleMania through a match that's coming up at the next pay-per-view. But it's not against The Undertaker, and it's maybe one of the worst-kept secrets, I guess, at this point, that it's pretty much set that Cena is going to face Undertaker at WrestleMania. At least that's kind of the prevailing rumor. But they haven't brought it up yet in the plot. There's actually been nothing related to Undertaker yet. So we'll have to see what happens. I believe it is, Lil V, that Cena is going to end up facing Undertaker. It's just not defined yet in the plot. So we talk about everything here on the lunch hour.
Yeah, my older sister and my baby niece and their family, they all watch it at their house. And I mean, like, I hear from it every once in a while from seeing them, like, family occasions and stuff like that. But, I mean, like, it seems like they're trying to make it more of, like, a franchise kind of thing. But, like, that's one thing about wrestling is they could always, you know, squeeze in those big franchise wrestlers for big events, especially, like, WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Undertaker is old, Ouchie. He's in his, I think, late 40s.
Was it like his 23rd or 24th WrestleMania, something like that?
Yeah, and he started young. I think he's in his late 40s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, something like that. Like his late 40s, early 50s, something like that. I'm not exactly sure myself either.
And yes, Ronda Rousey is now in WWE.
Yeah, I saw something about that on Facebook a few weeks ago. That's crazy. But that's what happens to all them UCF people after their careers kind of deteriorate.
Let's see, what else is there? Well, so if you guys have questions related to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes or anything else, go ahead and post it in the description in the YouTube chat, and Sanely Red is going to start scooping them up and asking questions as we go along. Also, we have kind of the same options as always for you guys, so thank you for watching during your lunch hour. Apparently, we learned yesterday YouTube does have the option of doing Super Chat now on the app. So you can do Super Chat now and donate to us if you want. You can also click the green button to sponsor us. If you donate more than $20 or you become a sponsor, you get VIP access on our Discord, which gets you a little bit more exclusive access to us, and you can ask questions, and we try to give you guys a sneak peek at some of the new content that we try to put out. So always feel free to do that. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you're hearing. You can give us a thumbs down, but let us know why you give us a thumbs down. I see it's 2, and chances are that is because we're talking wrestling instead of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, which is fine. We talk about everything here. It's just pure entertainment, just like wrestling is. All right.
Except the Russians.
Yes. So, let's see. So, today, since I'm streaming, I'm playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and I'll actually try to do stuff. I've simmed my Galactic War. It's so awesome. Just go in there.
I know, that was epic.
It's great. I love it. I'm trying to see what I have left to do. We got some new stuff in here, so I have to look at the... Let me grab some of these. So, sanely, just feel free to start getting the questions in once they start coming in. I'm going to just do stuff in-game, and we'll answer questions together, and we'll see what we can do.
Okay, we got one question so far.
Okay.
Mad Dad, as a level 84 player, I am dreading the level cap increase. When do you think they will drop the level 90 increase on us?
At the time of the raid, probably within a week of it. So, I think if I remember I'm having a hard time remembering the exact timeline, but just it was roughly this way with Heroic AAT. Heroic AAT dropped, and people were running the regular one first, I think, because you need to do the lower one before you unlock the top one, and then you could do the Heroic. I think they waited about a week or 2, if I remember, before the release, before 2 weeks after the release.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So after the raid was released, 2 weeks after, they increased the level cap. So I would imagine it's probably going to be around that same timeline, so we're looking at about maybe 3 weeks from now.
Also, just pulling from my notes, too, from the stream last night, Warrior mentioned that it could be anywhere from 30 to 45 days, just from his perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's about right. I think within the next couple months, we should expect it. I would guess probably in about 3 weeks, or 2 weeks after the raid start, is what I'm going to say. And I'm assuming the raid is going to come in another month, so another week. Month.
Yeah,
definitely not a month.
And one more note on that too. I'm dreading it myself, Mad Dad. I mean, I just put my final tune up to 85, other than my IPD and Wampa, and then we're about to get all these new tunes coming in from the raid and Scion, and it's gonna be just a grind again to keep getting your cap up, and it's just more opportunity to level your tune stats and galactic power too, ships as well even.
All right. Any other questions so far, Sanely?
Yep.
Okay.
Ugnati, question, I have a good JTR team and a good Palp team. What should I run in Arena? Most of my shard is Palp.
Palp. Jedi Training... Okay, so this just kind of goes back. Jedi Training Rey is a good character, but she was never super dominant in the meta. I mean, she was there. She was number 1. She was a high volume. But she was
didn't last long, yeah.
It's not that she didn't last long necessarily. It's just that she was easily countered. Night Sisters was a very easy counter to Jedi Training Rey. Emperor Palpatine doesn't have that simple of a counter. Rex team works against him, but you still need quite a bit of decent mods in order to do it, because you need a fast Thrawn.
CLS too.
CLS also. You needed some way of getting a tenacity up, and in order to do that, you needed a relatively fast Thrawn compared to your opponent. So it wasn't as easy a counter as some of the other ones, where you could have considerably less mods on your Night Sisters, for example, and take out a much better modded Jedi Training Rey. So right now, Emperor Palpatine doesn't have a very clear, like, super dominant anti-team. There are some that are popping up there with a Rex lead, and I've seen some with like a Wampa and a Mother Talzin, and the main thing is you need a Han Solo.
Heavy Tank Mix and Talzin. That's a crazy team I've seen on YouTube a lot.
Yeah. But I mean, the main thing is you need a Han Solo. Han Solo is the one that stops the opposing Vader. So I would say go with your Emperor Palpatine team. Go with Emperor Palpatine, Vader, Thrawn, whoever you want in the fourth. It can be a tank is good, like a Kenobi. You could just go with more dark side with a Sith Trooper, for example, especially with the rework. You could go with a Nihilus, and then a Han Solo. And you use your Han Solo in order to stun the opposing Vader first, if your Vader is a little bit slower, and then you continue on your way.
Also, Rex is a good alternate leader, too, to have a team to swap out your Palpatine if you need to use like a Rex Titan team. You know, I just got my Rex up to Gear 12 actually a couple days ago, and I'm just working on some more Gear 12 teams for Arena.
Yeah, so Jedi Training Ray is good.
Rex...
Good.
Rex with like Maul or Logray or Holdo actually works real well against EPE leads.
Yeah, it does, but it's not something you want to leave on defense, right? Because it's going to get destroyed.
No.
So that's why I'm thinking more Emperor Palpatine. It's just the overall consistency of Emperor Palpatine is really good, and Jedi Training Rey is a good character. Her team ends up being really good and it's really dominant in territory wars because you're expending certain things. But the main issue is that it's too easy of a counter. And Teal's donated $2 and said, fast Rex lead with GK, Zeta Han Solo, Mother Talzin, and Darth Nihilus. Yes. No disagreement from me, but Rex lead, you need mods. It's very mod dependent. It's not like a pure
He needs
counter.
to be your fastest, Yeah. He needs to get everybody tenacity and give them that turn meter and get everybody else going before the other team does. And that's the best part about Rex. And, you know, everybody's talking about Palpatine was the free-to-play champion even after the Zetas, but I still think that's Rex. You know, that's why I had to heavy up gear. And, you know, I had him at gear 10 with, like, 1 piece to 11. And I was like, I need to get my Rex up. This is important right now.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while. I'm going to do battles manually while we ask questions, so I'm not going to sim. So
multitasking machine.
Yes.
Jason Conger, with all the new Sith coming, who would be more worthwhile to farm/gear? Sith Trooper or Sith Assassin?
Trooper. Because Trooper's they're changing him to where he taunts at the beginning of battle, so that makes him 100% better than he already is.
And then you got 2 tanks if you put him next to Scion or whoever you want to put in that Sith team. I mean, it's up to you. I still say Scion and Sith Trooper, no matter who you put him with. If you got them together, it's going to be a great combo.
John Paul Temple, any thoughts on when the next R2-D2 event will be?
It just ran here recently, didn't it?
Yeah.
December,
right?
When they did the first Mythic event, so it should be, like, again, around the same time, like I said, the BB-8 one, I'd say, like, April or May the 4th, maybe. They might do, like, a mass, like, legendary character event month thing to kind of get other newer players caught up, in my opinion. Something for May the 4th.
Yeah. I think that might be about accurate.
Okay, Adam Tron, are you guys actually excited about the Solo movie?
Yeah, man, I'm pumped for it. More Empire, Han Solo, Millennium Falcon, the Kessel Run, that black hole, the giant monster in the black hole, and the trailer looks intense, man. All of it looks really good. Lando Calrissian by Donald Glover, that's going to be good.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I hope it's as good as Rogue One was.
I think it will be. It's like another non-Jedi themed story movie, and it's something we've been wanting to see for a while. That fans are like, "Oh, what's the Kessel Run? What's the Kessel Run?" Now we get to see it.
You know, if they mess up the Han Solo movie, I am going to be so mad.
I don't think they are, though. Like, I know not every of
I don't
the
think
Star
you
Wars
can
movies...
mess that up, though, right?
Well, they're not going to be all like Empire Strikes Back, and they're not going to be like Rogue One, which are my two favorite ones. But I haven't seen one that I really didn't like. Like, I know some people had issues with the Last Jedi and whatnot, but I didn't find it a bad movie. There hasn't been one that I disliked. But if you keep everything to the pedestal of Empire Strikes Back or Rogue One or whichever your favorite movie is, then you're going to have a hard time with all the
equivalent,
movies.
yeah.
I mean, there's so many movies out there. It's hard to... You can't just keep comparing it to the best one. So you have to take each one individually. I'm looking forward to the Han Solo movie. It provides background to a character that we've all gotten really used to. Not to mention the fact that... And I'm just going to throw this out there at this point. Han Solo was in The Last Jedi. Right? I mean, he wasn't in The Last Jedi. He was in The Force Awakens. So he is still alive during the time of Snoke. So it is possible that this movie may somehow shed light onto who Snoke is. Not saying it will, but it's possible that somehow
would be cool.
their paths cross.
I would like to see it, but I just don't think so, because it's at an earlier time in the Empire. So it's more of like we'll probably see like Boba Fett or Vader before we see anything about Snoke, in my opinion.
Well, so here's the one issue with that. The Emperor Palpatine, if you only watched episodes 4 through 6, you knew nothing about the Emperor. Like, zero. And you figured it out once episodes 1 through 3 came in, and you learned the background of the Chancellor and all of that stuff. Snoke would have to be introduced in some kind of movie that came in beforehand, which wouldn't be Rogue One. Rogue One at this point doesn't seem like it has anything to do with Snoke. It could be that he is somewhere in episodes 4 through 6, and they would reveal it, or they would do it somewhere in the Solo movie. Otherwise, I don't really see how else you would basically reveal who Snoke is, what his background is, and make people kind of go back and watch the other movies. So,
hey Finn, you know a lot about like the KOTOR and the stories, like the books, the canons, and all that stuff, right? I mean, legends.
That is definitely more Rangers thing. My knowledge is very, very limited on that.
Okay, so real quick, what if like Bane, or I'm sorry, Darth Bane had Revan's holocron, right? Mm-hmm. And then it started to fail on him, and then he transferred it over to like the all powerful Sith. I can't remember the name for it. It's like the all the knowledge for the Sith in one holocron, and then the Emperor got a hold of that at one time. Maybe something like that would be pretty cool to see. Like if you had maybe something like canon from Revan or Bane, something like that, something on the Sith holocron.
Okay.
Maybe put that in the movie.
Revan,
that'd be pretty cool.
Savior. There we go. Okay, I had to get that out
there.
Yeah. I was just sitting here thinking. So far, the Star Wars movies have a lot of stuff in common. Like, they love chopping off hands, and they love cutting dudes in half.
And breaking lightsabers.
And losing lightsabers.
But so that's another...
Obi-Wan's gonna kill me.
They've done that with characters that have some kind of parallel, right? Like, Vader's hand got cut off, and then Luke's hand got cut off.
Right.
And then Mace's hands got cut off, and Dooku's hands got cut off. And...
Well, he got 2 hands cut off. Dooku got
I see what you're
2
talking
hands
about, though,
yeah. Yeah. But I'm wondering, I doubt that there is anything, but Maul got cut, like, square in half and turned into Meccano Maul, and then Snoke got cut in half. So I don't know if maybe there's some kind of tangent between those two as well. Some kind of
Spider Snoke in the making.
Meccano Snoke is coming in episode 9. You heard it here first. We need a Meccano Snoke.
We're getting Snoke in the game with robot legs.
That would be pretty awesome, actually. No, you can introduce a normal Snoke and then make it a journey to get Meccano Snoke.
Oh, man.
And Loki, yes. So I fixed my bed. I do have some stuff here that I need for work afterwards. And also, I cleaned up my dresser a little bit, if you can see. So Tits isn't as mad at me.
You need to put you need to put Ewok bed sheets on your Amazon wish list.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with having the actual Ewok. I have my Wicket. I'm okay. The BB-8 and Porg are up there. So they're just resting and guarding my dresser. All right. What else do we have, Stanley?
Aaron Robertson. Question: I accidentally zated IPD. What's the best team to put around him without Wampa?
Ooh. Accidentally.
IPD works with anything just as long as you have a couple tanks to protect them.
Yeah, that's not an accident, man. That's a good Zeta.
Yeah, that is a good Zeta. I mean, it's just you got to get the other Zetas around him with it too. I mean, if you're going for that Palpatine lead, Vader, Thrawn, Grand Moff Tarkin, Probe Droid, that would be what you're looking for. Or instead of Tarkin, put in Shore Trooper if you want some health or a tank in there. But you don't really need Shore Trooper in my opinion. I'd say just go with the AoEs and the dispel AoEs and get Probe Droid going quick.
Yes. All right, let me.
It's really good in dark side territory battles. That's for sure.
I don't have Probe Droid yet, but it looks fun and the mechanics are fun. So I mean, if you put the Zeta on it already, it's not like you can't use it.
Fatality V2. What do you think about Boba Fett being removed from Chromium packs?
They need to remove more characters from Chromium packs.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it make it worth us buying them.
Mm-hmm. They need to remove a lot of the long-time free-to-play accessible characters from the Chromium pack. And I know they put them in there because people are going to, like, newer players that are buying the Chromium packs. And largely it is newer players because veteran players not always want to chase a particular character through Chromium packs. That's just not an efficient buy. And so they put in characters that are going to be relatively useful in there at the time. But Boba Fett is just way too easily accessible at this point, so...
You can get him in the Cantina store anyway, so...
He's in Cantina, he has some hard nose, like, he's pretty easy to get. So I'm fine with him not being in Chromiums. I forgot that this level has this as the final group. Old Daka lead with Boba, Jawa, Ewok, Elder, and HK-47. Oh, it's Chief Nebbit, not Jawa. What kind of... I forgot that this was the ending team. It is a nuisance res team. 4 of them are resers, and then you have Chief Nebbit. Silly canteen.
Replace Nebbit with Probe Droid.
Alright, next question.
Camille Bukowski. Question: I finally unlocked Scimitar. Where should I put him in target lock team? As first reinforcement, how to use him?
I've seen him used a couple different ways. I like him from reinforcement, so he can come in and then just protect your squad immediately from whatever it is by giving only one person the ability to be attacked and everyone else stealth. I have seen him in people's starting lineup, and it can be potentially useful. I don't think it's as useful, though. Did he say what his squad is, otherwise? Like, what his capital ship is?
No, it doesn't say. Just target lock team.
I would say bring him first off the reinforcements. Anyone disagree?
Nope.
That's where I got him.
Well, there you go.
Alright, Mad Dad, question: is there any conspiracy as to why Stormtrooper Han is the login character for March?
Conspiracy? No. They usually do those things to give us a hint as to what's coming up. So if you look at Stormtrooper Han, one, he's a Han. So there's a chance that there's a new Han coming with regards to the new movie. He is a scoundrel.
He's for Stormtrooper Luke.
So
get in down the garbage chute, fly boy.
Is there a trash compactor?
Chopper. So it can be a scoundrel related thing. If they are working on different types of scoundrels. But they might have been better off putting somebody that's a bounty hunter instead of a scoundrel if they're working on that. Because I don't know of any characters they'd be putting in that are bounty hunters, or that are scoundrels that wouldn't be bounty hunters at this point. They would just be too generic, I think, to introduce. So I really want to say bounty hunter rework, but Stormtrooper Han isn't a bounty hunter. So I'm thinking it might be more along the lines of a scoundrel rework. Maybe Mob Enforcer actually has a purpose, something like that. But
maybe they're reworking Lando.
Free shard shop currency.
They could have a new Lando. They could have a fifth Han. I think it's all going to be related to the new movie, to be honest, though. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of the new Han Solo movie characters coming in.
I just think it's too early for that, though.
They usually do it about 1 or 2 months ahead of time, so the movie is released in May, right? So if they give us the news at the end of the month, which is essentially what they did this month, right? They gave us Sith Assassin, and then on the 28th is when they gave us like really all the details about stuff. So we could get a lot of details coming at the end of the month, and then in April we can see the new characters coming in as marquee events, followed by May having the movie release. I believe it's May that the movie is released. I can't remember exactly.
Maybe we're gonna see OG Chewie and an OG Millennium Falcon.
Maybe.
And Han won't be the pilot of that one either. At some point, we are bound to get that.
I still can't believe they gave us the frickin' Force Awakens Millennium Falcon
Episode 7.
or the original Millennium Falcon. It's like, all seriously?
It's like they jingled it in front of us like some keys.
Okay, Free Dumb. Question, did you put a Zeta on that pimp hat?
Damn straight I did.
He put 3 on it.
Mm-hmm.
I do dig the hat, man. That's cool.
I like my hats.
Todd Mayotte. Question, I have a lot of Emperor Palpatine in my arena. Switch back to Rex Lead, CLS, Thrawn, GK, and Raid Han. What do you think the speed should be?
You're going to need them really high to beat Vader.
Well, he said Raid Han. So what was your team again? It was CLS. What was it?
Rex Lead, CLS, Thrawn, GK, and Raid Han.
You need a fast Thrawn, and then you need to stun Vader, and your Thrawn should be as fast as possible. I mean, I don't think there's anything else to go with that. It's just you have to make it as fast as possible, so Thrawn will give turn meter to Han Solo, or not Han Solo, to Rex, and then Rex gives tenacity up to everyone. So there isn't a fast enough on Thrawn. And on if you're fighting somebody, your Thrawn should be faster than the other team's second character. So Vader is likely going to be the fastest, and then the next one is usually going to be the opponent's Thrawn. And your Thrawn needs to be faster than their Thrawn, but you're using your first level mods and they're using their second level mods, because their first is usually on Vader. So that's what you need.
Yeah. Still, though, Han Solo doesn't work very well because a lot of people have Zeta'd Vader's unique, which makes Han's stun not last very long. Because he won't be reducing that Vader's turn meter.
And Freedom, I did get this hat in Mexico when I went down to Cancun a couple years ago.
You need to get a Panama hat, dude.
That is this. It's from Mexico, but it is. All right, next question.
Jason Conger, I spend 450 on refreshes daily that I earn from Fleet/Arena. What is the next best use of crystals from free-to-play standpoint?
Refreshes.
No, not
next to that.
Same for Scion.
So you can save it. That would be the first thing. You never know when a character is going to come in that's going to be useful. You never know when there's going to be double drops. In any case of a double drop, the next cost of the The next cost of refreshes actually is equivalent to the current one. So by that I mean you're doing the 100 crystal refreshes, you're getting the energy, you're getting a particular drop rate. Let's say you're getting, and this is going to be really awful RNG, but it happens. You get 1 shard for every refresh that you do. If you do double drops, the cost of the next one is double, but now you're getting double drops, so you're still onto that 1-to-1 ratio between the shards you get to the crystals that you spend. So I would say save up some crystals if you can. And then the next thing is that in the shipments, I don't know if I have them up, there are particular items that you can buy that are worth it. Depending on where you are in your roster, one of them is the Mark III Holo Projector. So you'll see that one here. It's 300 crystals. It's well worth the purchase compared to going and farming it from energy. And that way you can actually save up your guild store tokens for other gear in there if you're not farming any kind of characters. There is another one which I don't have up right now. It is the Black Mark 8 eyeballs. They're also a really low cost compared to what you would need in order to farm it. It is one of the better ones. You need a high volume of those as well. So you can buy those pieces. And the other one, which you don't need to buy because it's not too hard to get, but it's still worth it, are these Mark V Athicum Med Packs. Those are also a relatively good buy. You can get a full one for 700. So those would be the ones that I would buy. Otherwise, I would save. So yep, that's from my perspective.
Also, if you wanted to, if you're getting some good payouts from fleets and arena, if you're good at hoarding up your crystals, I'd say save them up. And if you don't want to spend some money on Scion, you can save them for those $12.99 crystal packs too. If you can start working on Scion, or if that's the more of a free-to-play way to look at it, if you'd like.
Yep, you have to be committed into getting Scion because those packs are pretty bad buys. But if you want it, you go for it.
For sure, especially if you want to at least get them up to like 4 or 5 stars. Like that's my plan, anyways. I'm gonna put a little bit of crystals on them and then see if I can get them up a little bit. But I'm not gonna wail out and spend like $300 on them.
All right, what's next?
Andreas Lin. Question: as the new raid, you can't escape, but if you use Hermit Yoda, as he is the last toon, he should auto-escape. Will that work in the new raid?
So I think Warrior was saying yesterday.
His escape doesn't work when in raids.
Yeah, I think that's what Warrior was trying to say yesterday, that the screenshots they did were on, I think he said it was like an old...
Yeah, no escape.
Yeah. Well, he said there was no escape, or that it just wasn't showing up on the pictures because it was like an older model.
There's no escape.
Okay, well...
They said that since the last 2 raids had the escape mechanic, that since this is the 3rd raid and this isn't anything new, that they wanted to make it more challenging so you can't pull the better tunes out of your roster and plug them back into another lineup for another 8, 10, 12 million damage. It's going to make it more complicated.
Okay. Well... Yeah, I guess Hermit Yoda may be... No, Hermit Yoda probably won't be the exception to that then. So then chances are he would escape battle, but really he would just not be usable again, so...
Yeah,
and plus, defeated. I'm pretty sure, he'd be defeated, because if he's the last one left, then he's instantly defeated is the quotation in his kit.
Yeah. So there you go.
Alright. Camille Bukalski. Hello, I'm a fairly new player, level 77. Is there still a point in chasing CLS for guys like me while the whole meta is going towards the dark side? Should I focus on evil tunes?
I'd say CLS is still a worthwhile farm. He is an extremely good character.
Top 3 tune, for sure.
I mean, he's rebel scum, but he's still a really good character.
And I mean, plus with all these new OP characters coming into the game, I mean, like, we're not going to see Treya for 6-8 months, right? And then Scion's going to be Scion. Visas Mara, I mean, I'm sure that once somebody figures out her kit, she can have some arena viability in the long run. I mean, if you look at GK and Xeris, it's a perfect example of a healer running the meta for a while. But, I mean, he's still definitely CLS is a top 3 tune in the game no matter what. And it's worth the grind.
All right. Next question.
1L73 question: does the login character always have a purpose for being what it is?
No.
Perhaps they just flipped a coin on Stormtrooper Han. Even Sith Assassin didn't seem purposeful, other than being a Sith.
That's what it was. It's not always like a major hint of anything. It's usually a subtle hint. It's usually a very minor thing. But there's usually I want to say 99% of the time, they put characters in as characters of the month in order to hint about some kind of related content. Not to say that they're going to be useful, not to say that they're going to be the new meta, just that there's some association between the theme of the month and what the character of the month is. So, 99% of the time, there's something.
Or it's a way to introduce new players.
I can use all the shard shop currency I can get. I like the buying the gear from the shard shop.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yay, I can get my Colonel Stark up to gear 10. Or 9. What do I need now? Who's listening to kid stuff in the back? Somebody has a TV on.
That transition to 9 and 10 is like another 150 Carbonis.
Someone's TV is on in the background.
It's not me.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. It's mine.
Oh, okay.
My son was out here watching TV. I just moved out to the living room. Sorry about that, I guess.
No worries. All right, next question.
Kaya Apul in Ario. Question: does Hermit Yoda's do or do not Zeta work with Zombie?
I think Finn said something about that to me once. Hermit Yoda puts Master's Training on Zombie a lot, and the AI doesn't work with it.
Mm-hmm.
It still refreshes Hermit Yoda's cooldowns when Zombie dies, though.
Yeah, if Zombie keeps dying and then it goes back to Yoda, like, you get the turn meter from it too, because I have both Zetas on my Hermit Yoda too, and I mean I've tried playing with it, but like I've been looking for more of like a full auto offensive and defensive team, and I don't want to jump into the Palpatine meta as well. With Scion coming out, there's a lot of potential in that tank alone. I've been thinking of a lot of things with that. I mean, there's a whole new meta coming up soon, and I'm not saying everybody who's using their Palpatine Zeta right now isn't going to be worth it in the long run. I'm just saying that there's going to be more potential for a wider variety of teams when Scion comes out.
The problem with using Zombie and Hermit Yoda is you end up getting into an endless loop, because they'll kill Zombie, Hermit Yoda will get his turn meter and cooldowns refresh, and then he'll
stick it back on her,
back on her. And then, they'll do it again, and it'll go over and over and over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
It like locks Hermit Yoda into constantly giving Master's Training to your Zombie.
Except when Zombie comes back, though, Zombie doesn't come back with a taunt, so there's no guarantee that Zombie's going to be attacked after the initial death that gives back.
Right, like the AI could start spreading Master's Training more to the other team or other tunes.
Well, you could put it on Zombie, but there's no guarantee that Zombie is going to be attacked first. Like, you still might be able to kill off another character, because Zombie doesn't get a taunt immediately after coming back from death. It's just what is it, 25% turn meter?
Mm-hmm.
The AI prioritizes tanks for Master's Training, from what I've seen doing autos with them.
But is it tanked when it's full?
Sometimes it'll
put it on whichever character doesn't have Master's Training, but it will, like, if it's first turn, it'll put Master's Training on your tank.
Well, I've still been playing with mine for a while. Like, I mean, I'm almost 7 stars. I need 19 more shards, and then I have the last piece to get into gear 12, double Zeta. And I mean, like, I've been playing with it a lot on full auto just to see, like, the mechanics and, how it works and if there's any bugs or anything like that, too. And, most of the time, it'll put it on either the tune that has the least amount of health or a tank, like he just said too as well. I mean, it's trying to give it to somebody who's either going to die the quickest or who's drawing more attention, in my opinion.
All right, next question.
Darth Hideous. Question, is Jedi Training Rey supposed to be coming in rotation before or after CLS?
May the 4th.
Jedi Training Rey came shortly before CLS during Christmas, right? So Jedi Training Rey should come first before CLS.
As long as BB-8's before Jedi Rey.
They usually come at the same time. Yeah.
It's just because CLS came out again before, or I'm sorry, after Rey release, correct? So Rey should be back before CLS's third one.
Yep.
Kind of like the last thing with the Chimera, remember? We're going to put the Chimera out for you guys to get, but we're going to do the 7-star Home 1 event after the Chimera.
And I was actually okay with
that. Buy the packs.
Yep, I was actually okay with that because I chose not to buy the pack, and that was on me. I could have done a refresh or bought a pack. All you needed to do was one purchase, and you could have gotten it. It's nice that they changed it, but I was fine with the fact that it came after.
It's like they're trying to make you buy it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was shady.
I was never really heavy into ships, anyways, and I'm still on all 6-star capital ships. But I mean, I still place like 20s, 30s, and fleets without all 5 battles in a day. So
I love ships.
No,
I'm just not into it all the way yet.
Yeah, Darth Hideous, that was pretty much in rotation. I believe that was about 5 months after the initial CLS release. So I think the CLS release around Christmas time was part of the cadence. Now, we don't have any official cadence for the Journey events. Just keep that in mind. It's kind of estimated at being about every 4 to 6 months. But it was all kind of within the cadence is what it appears to be. All right, next. Demertuin.
Question, Finn, why are you dressed up like John Hammond from Jurassic Park?
Because I am going dino hunting after the stream is done. There you go.
Jason Conger, do you think that tournaments will ever come back?
No.
I don't want them back. Ugh.
They won't come back.
Way too many problems.
It was awful.
Well, unless they make them server side, because before they were client side, which allowed people to cheat.
Yeah, but so you've come across more problems now with that. So one thing is there's going to be some backlash if they make it use ally tokens again after people have been spending it and stuff. So I think you're going to have one issue on that front. The other front is, I don't mind. I actually had zero issue with the fact that they were charging crystals for the refreshes. I mean, it's pretty much a way for them to make money if people really care to. So you just spend your crystals and that's income for them. But the problem is not everybody thought the same way. So if you make it worth crystals for the refreshes in order to do the attacks and stuff, you're going to run into a problem there. I liked it. If there's a way to fix it, that would be good. I just don't see it likely because there's way too many mechanic problems with it. With regards,
I think they got more negative response from it though, and that's why they're not bringing it back.
Yeah,
it's probably one of the worst features I've seen in the game, in my opinion.
Well, I liked the squad tournaments. I thought they were really cool until people started cheating. You know, you'd see a dude with 5,000 arena power getting number 1. You know.
I hated it because you would climb and climb and then climb, and then you would go back like 30 minutes later and you'd be down back exactly where you started again. It was a never-ending loop.
All right, next question.
Or maybe I just had a really active shard for that.
Ben Lazarus. Question, with this new raid, do you think a Zeta on Nihilus lead will be a solid idea?
No.
No.
EP is so much better.
Plus, all the game changers are saying Nihilus doesn't work.
Maul is an interesting one.
It might bring Maul back.
Yeah, the turn meter gain and everything with Maul, that's an interesting one.
The turn meter and the I mean, the turn meter, yeah, but the evade, not so much, because Scion and Sith Trooper are going to be relying so heavy on taunting, so the dodge meta is not really going to work for that.
Well, they can still dodge.
Mhm.
They just won't go invisible.
Oh, yeah, I guess that'll give them more of a mechanic for survivability, too, right?
Mhm.
That's a good point, then, to make that now, yeah. I still don't have Zeta Darth Maul, but
that's
I've
why
been
Sith
thinking about it
Trooper-
more and more.
Yeah, that's why
No, but
Sith
I think
Trooper worked
under-
really well under Maul.
Isn't it under Maul
even before.
lead? Isn't it under Maul lead that if they're taunting, then they're immune to the stealth?
Yeah, they become immune to the stealth, so
Really?
they'll continue to. They'll
Yeah,
continue
so they
to
continue to taunt. They don't stealth.
But do they gain the bonuses still? Like
Yes.
the evasion bonus? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they just don't get the stealth buff. The only thing I'll shut it down is obviously R2, but maybe that's enough to slow down R2 if you got double tank going, right?
Right. Especially with Scion.
Yeah.
He's so nasty.
I'm looking forward to getting them, man. This is gonna be fun.
I know. I can't wait, man.
All right. Next.
Mr. Pennypinch, question. Finn, when you have that hat on, can we establish your name as Tony Monfinity? Scarface reference.
Say hello to my little hat. All right.
I don't know, but you should do this. You grab your Porg or your Ewok and say hello to my little Ewok. Little wicked.
Or my Chewie and Porg. Hee. That's my favorite one. I love the Luke Porg. The Luke Porg is like the greatest part of this. Okay. All right. What's next?
I don't have any other questions right now.
Okay. Well, Mr.
Oh wow.
Mr. Pennypinch, I hope you are doing better. So I'm glad to see that you're on the stream. So.
Pennypinch. Woo woo.
I love my little Chewy Porg. It's like the greatest thing ever.
Actually, while we're paused, I'm looking at Maul's lead. The caveat for that is it says the stealth and turn meter from this ability ignores taunting allies. So they won't be gaining the turn meter, and they won't be gaining stealth, but they will be gaining
the evasion
dodge bonus.
Okay. That works too, because then the taunt lasts longer as well. So.
Yeah.
And they will also, let's see here, what was it? Never mind.
Still sounds like it's worth a Zeta right now to me.
The Zeta on Maul?
Yeah. I mean, like, if you haven't done it already, like me.
I would still wait. I don't have it either. I'm not putting it on it now. There's too many new characters coming out to risk it.
Yeah. Well, I already have Maul Zeta, so I'm good. I'm gonna test it out with Scion and see how well it works.
Yeah, Scion's unique really well. Probably is the best Zeta other than Treya's. I mean, out of the three, of course.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on like 13 mats right now, so I don't know.
Wait a second.
Who's gonna Zeta Zion?
I wonder if Scion loses the taunt when they hit him, because then maybe it'll trigger the stealth and dodge and stuff like that. Because if it's gone, you know.
That's true. Depend on which mechanic goes first. That'll be interesting to test.
His kid's. I guess that's just wishful
thinking.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of. I don't know how to explain it. He's got a lot of
potential.
Versatility. Yeah. He's got so much. Because I mean, his AOE, the dispel, and pain looks like so much fun. Like it looks even more fun than Plague when you first read it on paper, in my opinion. And then on top of that, his ability for the revive and give him all that 100% buff, 100% turn meter, 100% protection, like blah. He's gonna be nasty.
Soon, TM.
Very soon.
Okay, we got a couple questions.
All right.
Nathaniel Morgan questions, since none of the upcoming events are showing, does that mean the new content is going to drop in the next few days?
No.
I think we might
seriously
get
doubt.
the marquee events within the next couple of days. Like, they'll drop it to fill the event calendar on our game.
Here's the thing, though. The marquees usually don't show up. When they do show up is when they're in
It's like
your
24 hours
roster
in
already.
advance or something like that, yeah.
The characters aren't showable in the roster, so I'm thinking probably we won't see it until next Wednesday.
Well, does anyone have the event calendar up real quick?
I can bring it up, but the events calendar doesn't have any of that stuff listed right now.
The marquees don't show on that.
Right, but is there anything listed from today to like the 4th or the 5th? Anything within the next couple days?
I'll check right now, but chances are it's just going to be other random events, because we just had the Ghost of Dathomir
like
today.
fillers at least.
Yeah, we have assault battles, we have an Endor escalation, we have an Omega battle, we have defense of Dathomir, we have fleet mastery, so we have stuff until the 7th.
Okay, so those are every day until the 7th, you said?
Except tomorrow. There's nothing on the 2nd, but then from the 3rd to the 4th, there's an assault battle, there's Endor escalation on the 4th, there's Omega battle on the 5th, there's defense of Dathomir on the 6th, there's fleet mastery on the 7th. We have a gap until the 10th, and then 10th to 11th is assault battle, Endor escalation, and so I mean they can stick in and they can stick in a marquee event
not to
wherever.
jump the gun, but it could be in the next couple of days. Not to jump the gun or get everybody fired up, but I mean, just looking at it, it could be within the next couple of days to fill in all these events, or it'll be around the 10th, like you said.
I think they're just going to they'll probably, like Grim was saying, in the next couple of days, they'll probably add those characters to our collection. We'll be able to see it. And then maybe sometime in the middle of next week, they'll end up actually giving us
and that's when the timer will start for the event.
Yep.
God, man, I can't wait.
All right, next.
Nathaniel Morgan, did Finn retire from medicine and become an orange farmer?
Potato farmer, next.
Moisture farmer.
Banana farmer.
Darth Hideous, question, the Zeta on Darth Treya, yay or nay?
Nay.
Yay.
Which one?
I think it's awesome.
Nay. I'm not going to be saving for Treya 6 months from now.
No.
What the hell? Why am I going to consider a Zeta for Treya right now? There's going to be at least like 6 months
her
before
in the
we
long
even
run?
get it.
Yeah, you would. Would you in the long run, right?
Well, I don't even know. So look at what they did with Marauder, right? Marauder got released into the game, and within 2 days they put in a bug fix. So I mean, who knows what's going to happen to Treya by the time that we get to the point where people are able to unlock her, and people are able to actually play with her, and then there may be changes, and you could end up with like a situation like Barris, where all of a sudden they change the Zeta. I mean, I would just wait. I'm not worried about Treya's Zeta at this point. It's too far out to even consider.
I just think it looks good on paper, and it looks like all the game changers are so pumped about it. And like, not saying that it's better than Scion, but it has its better points to it than Scion or any of the other top meta characters, and it'll hop right into the meta as soon as it's out there, you know?
I don't disagree, but things on paper don't always pan out. And simplest one is Nihilus's lead, which people thought was going to be fantastic, and it just didn't pan out. So I would wait before you... So one thing, and this is coming from a free-to-play player, everyone... Well, everyone has like a different perspective, right? So coming as a free-to-play player, one of the benefits for me is that a lot of the people that spend money on this game, like Warrior and a lot of people in TI, and they make videos and all of that stuff, you get to see how the characters play out before you actually have to do anything with it. Even if you're somebody that spends money and you're not like a Kraken where you're trying to buy everything, or you're up in that level where you're spending quite a bit if it's a character you like despite how they play because you want the character. You benefit from letting other people play test it for you. So, and because things don't always pan out the way that they look on paper like they may, you're usually better off just waiting and seeing how it plays out before already coming to a decision where you're going to be buying this character because you think it's going to be good or not.
Right. But with this being a raid character too, like, it's going to have a great kit. Look how versatile and viable GK and Han Solo still are. Plus, she has that leadership ability too. And
Han Solo
I think
now.
That's probably the Zeta.
Han Solo had a very, very, very limited time in the meta before CLS came into play. He was,
But it's still there.
Not a
It's
very
the Titan team,
great
you know?
Again, after CLS. Before
yeah,
CLS, Han Solo was in the game, and he was utilized for a very small amount of time at the beginning, and
They
then
had to
he got
give him
phased out of the
better
meta.
mechanics, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you never know. Just because they're a raid character, they're supposed to be better. It may not always pan out. So I would just say wait. There's no reason to worry
Right.
about Darth Treya at this point.
I'm sure we'll see a lot more people with it on film and the Game Changers testing it, you know, with their test accounts when it does become like available in game. But I mean, again, we won't see it with other like regular day-to-day people or anything like that in regular accounts or in your PvP shards for a while, for 6-8 months at least.
Thane, I am a free to play. This is a free to play account. It is almost 2.9 million, but I've been free to play. All right, next.
Ryuk, is it worth spending 14,000 crystals on Scion packs when they come out, or should I go farm gear?
Same as what I just said, though. Scion looks like he's going to be
just
good.
wait.
But yeah, just wait until people playtest him and see how it actually works out. We don't have his stats yet, so that's always one thing you always want to make sure. I mean, this is extreme, but obviously if he only has like 1,000 health and 1,000 protection, no matter what his kit is, it's not going to matter. So wait until you see what his stats are. You can wait a little while to see how he plays out, what combination it is. Would you be able to make use of whatever team comp he's like really good in? I think it's worth it if he turns out to be as he looks on paper. I don't think it's a bad purchase, but you're better off just waiting before making a decision to say, yes, I'm getting him on day one.
Also, though, I wanted to make a good note on Sion's like statistics. Warrior did say in the chat last night too that he does have, you know, like average speed, so he's not going to be like super slow or anything like that or have any lame stats. So it's going to look like he's going to be good on paper and in game. But again, wait till you spend any money.
Yeah, I'm good. You know, get him at base unlock, get him to gear 11.
Yeah, I'm gonna grind.
Test him out a bunch, and more than likely he's going to be amazing at base unlock. So, because usually when they come out with tanks like that, you know, with that type of kit setup, they're awesome.
There's very few times I can remember a character coming out with a new, unique ability that hasn't had some time in the meta. And Pain is a completely new concept. The last ones were what? Fracture. You have Jedi Training Rey that had the 2-turn health immunity. You had Shock with Emperor Palpatine, which even when it first came out had a time in the meta. It was short-lived.
Plague with Talzin.
So you have a lot of different ones.
Droid, target locking, and in-game target lock with the tunes now.
So whenever you have a character with like a new ability, chances are, so far anyways, it has shown that they tend to be useful for at least a little while in the meta. So I think
that, in my opinion, too, is that we could even put this in the question that like he could rival GK for the best tank in the game, in my opinion.
I was sitting here last night doing some theory crafting, and Scion and Sith Assassin are going to be, you know, very, very
1 and 2
paired, because Scion will always be putting pain on dudes, and Assassin, with her basic, if the opponent is debuffed, she gains stealth.
All right, now
so she'll always be in stealth.
Put Savage Opress with that too.
I'm still not sold on Savage on that team, but
Savage is good, but I don't know if he's going to work very well with Scion, because Scion's already got to be removing all debuffs from all the time.
Just me thinking out loud though, running Emperor Palpatine, double tanks with Trooper Scion, and then you could run Savage and then Sith Assassin. So you're stacking a bunch of debuffs, gaining a bunch of turn meter, digging under protection.
You won't gain the turn meter fast enough. Without Vader getting the speed boost, you're not going to land the debuffs first.
True.
The
Yeah,
other
I guess
characters are too
you
slow.
would rather Vader than
That's why I was also thinking who would be a better leader, like the new Treya or EP. And while Treya's leadership looks awesome, EP's is just so good because of that turn meter gain that they get.
Yeah.
I mean, with like say EP, Vader, Scion, Trooper, and say Tarkin, you're gonna be constantly putting debuffs all over the place, and
No, that's the one benefit with
turn
Emperor
meter is gonna
Palpatine. You could run more Empire with Emperor Palpatine and then run the Sith more with Treya. You could have two really viable teams and still kind of get what you need. Like, Vader will go with Palpatine. It's just the way that it's going to work out. If you put Scion with Treya and Nihilus, you could put Vader and Sith Trooper maybe with Emperor Palpatine with a Shore Trooper or some combination like that where you're still kind of double tanking. Maybe it is with Shore Trooper and Stormtrooper with Emperor Palpatine instead. Or Death Trooper. Let's go with Death Trooper. So Emperor Palpatine, Vader, Thrawn, Death Trooper, and Shore Trooper ends up being one team. You can still go with Treya on the other team with Scion, Nihilus, Sith Trooper, and let's go with Nihilus. No, I already did Nihilus. So Nihilus, Scion, Treya lead, Sith Trooper, and Sith Assassin could be one. Could be actually Marauder. Marauder might fit well into that team too. So you could have pretty two separated teams that are really viable as well.
Also, with the new raid too, like you want to like stretch your factions out too. So, in keeping that in mind, with the Emperor Palpatine lead, you want to like keep Palpatine as the Sith leader, and then maybe start leaning towards like a Tarkin Empire lead team. Like you want to start like splitting those two factions away from each other now, and start making a full Sith team and a full Empire team, and keeping Palpatine in that Sith team. But you're also again running Vader with that too. You're gonna want to keep those 1 and 2 together, like Jedi Rey and BB-8 with Palpatine and Vader. So you're gonna want to start getting more comfortable with separating your Sith and your Empire, and then your Empire from your Imperial troopers. You know what I mean? Like giving yourself as much versatility on the dark side as you can, especially with the new raid coming out.
All right.
I was just thinking of something that would probably be stupidly overpowered. EP lead Vader, Scion, Thrawn, and Shore Trooper.
Oh gosh.
All right,
Double
and on that awful note,
I will use that one.
On that note, let's go ahead and start wrapping this up. So This was our 1 hour lunch stream. Thank you for everyone that joined us during this stream. I hope you guys had fun. We try to answer as many questions as we can. So hopefully yours got answered. If your question was not answered, hop onto the RSG Discord. The link is in the description of the YouTube video, and you can ask your question there. We have a great community of people that will be able to answer questions for you. With that, I'll give everyone an opportunity to kind of pimp their stuff. Xylo, do you want to start?
Grim, you let me go first last time. You go, brother.
Pimping stuff. Okay. Yeah. Search Galaxy Heroes. Grim looked for the skull with the Anarchy symbol on the forehead. I jam out to some good music and show you some stuff in Galaxy Heroes.
All right.
And yeah.
All right, Xylo.
Yep, it's your boy Xylo Takedown. You can look me up on YouTube, Xylo Takedown, SWGOH. I also got the email on there too as well. If you have any questions or anything like that too, like and subscribe to the channel. I got a lot more stuff coming as well too, and really appreciate you guys having me on the show again.
All right, and Sanely, anything you want to pimp?
Well, since I don't really do YouTube, I guess I might have to pimp myself.
Okay.
Well, I'm an eligible bachelor. I'm 30 years old. I like long walks to the beach.
So, ladies, if you want to talk to Sanely Red, hop on the RSG Discord and message him. His name is Sanely Red. Sanely Red. All right. And on that note, I, Infinity with Reality Skewed Gamers. This is our YouTube channel. We have our regular Wednesday stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and yesterday went really long because there was a lot of new content. We also have a question and answer stream Saturdays at 10 a.m. where we just purely do questions and answers for stuff that you ask. We also have another channel, the RSG Mature channel, for which we have more adult-oriented night stream at Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And then our now regular lunch hour stream from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. So on that note, I am Finity with Reality Skewed Gamers, and me and my hat sign out.